Hey, what's up, guys? It's my week 18 recap. It's actually pretty crazy that it's already been 18 weeks. But this was once again not the greatest week ever. But I'll kind of explain what happened in it. So let's start off with MBRX. Popped up here. I shorted. It hit my stop. I I missed a perfect entry right here. Boom. Have been perfect. Missed it, unfortunately. Popped up here. I did get a decent short. I covered a little bit early. Um, Popped back up here. I recycled again, and I had to go back to work. So I remember I cut it off because I've had a couple times in the past where I get called to work or whatever, and I just leave it with a range order, and a couple times my range order didn't get hit or it squeezed too fast, or I'm not exactly sure what happened wrong, but when I came back it was past my stop, so I'm trying not to do that anymore. This trade would have worked out great for me if I would have been able to hold it, but I remember this wasn't supposed to happen. I was trying to mess with a hotkey, and I wanted to have a hotkey so that I have like my risk. Once it drops, then I want to lower my risk to a break even. Uh, this actually wasn't a loss, I remember, but it was literally break even because I accidentally it was like 1 cent in the money or something like that. But like it basically fell since it already dropped. Like I hit the hotkey that was supposed to lower my risk to break even instead of my initial risk, and it just covered all. And I was just like, I was so pissed off and kind of like shocked that I just kind of like missed all of this, and I just didn't have my head on straight. But then that kind of moved on to the next trade, which was on the same day. And this after locates, I probably ended the trade like I think I remember telling my buddy Nico that I was actually red, but like you know just like barely red, like it wasn't even a big deal. But then I turned it into a max loss with where is it? Just saw this stupid thing. Dun, dun, dun. Here we are. But then I couldn't just like leave it alone because that last cover was like at like 10. So when I came back, I had just enough time. I saw this thing popping up, and I was just like, oh, I had no idea what I was even thinking shorting this because I broke my rules. I didn't do like all the diving in. I don't know if I had delusion or what its deficit and all that stuff, like my list. Uh, but then I also broke a rule because uh, I only went in with this thing with like fourth size. So like, I was just like, I'll practice or whatever. Well, this practice kicked my ass which makes it even worse because if I have a max loss on fourth size, like that means that this stock absolutely just murdered me, which it did, and because I didn't have any risk management, I shorted right here. Uh, this thing ripped all the way up to over $2 before I finally did cover, this is basically like 5 stops for me, 5 hard stops worth of wiggle room that I gave it. I don't even know if you could call it wiggle room at this point, but anyways, you drop back down. I thought in my head, I guess I must have thought that it had like a D pattern forming. I shorted, it dropped, I covered it a little bit, um, it held the 9. Uh, I'm not really sure. I must have added back this, uh, and then I covered all break even. And I'm sure I was thinking that that was a glorious trade or whatever, risk management, but it's past my time to trade, and especially on extensions. Uh, I'm not supposed to be doing any of this at all. Like, this isn't a play. Then it comes up here, and I must have thought that it was forming another D pattern. Um, Shorted lower high, covered break even. I was just like, oh man, like you had the right idea, just the wrong timing. Shorted, kind of held, cut break even, shorted again, held, and this I cut off for a small loss. And but then all of this, I mean, I was based on the verge of after this, I was based on a verge of like being at max loss. So I think that I was just trying to win back some of my trades from these stupid trades, making more stupid trades, which doesn't make any sense. And I mean, this thing, I'm down here trading on this thing was down to $2, $3. It got all the way up to $6.60, and yeah, that could have been a disaster. And then right after that, I was really pissed off on this one. So this next one is LIZI. It was yesterday, and man, it was a perfect trade for me because this thing popped up here. I saw it stuffing. I shorted. I'm pretty sure it's closer to this, the actual fill. But it hit down here. It doesn't look like it's that far, but I mean, if I shorted up here, this is at least like 12 cents, and it's a good little scalp. If I want to go in for cut some off and starts curling back up, then I cut off break even or whatever. But this thing plummeted down. I wanted to hit down here, and it started holding, and then it started reclaiming, and it got above above my J lines, above the 9, and it pushed. And then I let it get all the way up, way too far. Like I was looking for the high of this candle, which I think I played it right, but the problem is I sized up, and when I sized up, I didn't change my max loss risk, and so I'm trading a max loss like I'm trading fourth size, So now that I'm hitting my max loss 4 times as fast. And so even though this is a good trade, I didn't realize this is a good trade until I tried to take a short right here. And I was like, oh, here it is. Like I was going to short here, cover, and when I tried to short here, it let me know that I was in liquidation mode. And I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. And first off, I traded this like shit anyways. Once this washed, I should have known that I should cut off when it broke back over the 9 and look for another chance to re-enter. But everybody's an amazing trader in hindsight, But I let my emotions. I wanted a bigger win, and it didn't work out, and I got my ass kicked, and so I did raise my risk up a little bit. That way I have a little bit more wiggle room. But now I also, that also allows me to have a little bit bigger losses. So I also need to be cautious with that. But yeah, man, I was just really pissed because there was a lot of opportunities here to take some good shorts. Right here was one that I was trying to take. Right here is another one. Right here is a perfect one. But anyways, like I said, everybody's a great trader in hindsight. So then I missed what was that? That was, yeah, LIZI was yesterday. So I only got a trade on Monday. I missed Tuesday. I traded Wednesday. Or wait, no. What did I do? I missed 2 days this week. So I only had, I traded 2 tickers today. I traded this one. So my plan was to short into this area up in here. But when I saw it open, and I saw it just kind of like stalling out with weaker volume, I was just like, I just took it. My buddy, I don't think my buddy was too happy that I had my plan up in here, and to me, I felt like I was adapting to the situation. So I didn't think it's that bad. I took off here. I took off all when it broke the 9. Then when it popped up here, I shorted the second candle, risking this. When it popped back up above this, I cut it off. I thought that it was coming up here. I saw this thing open. Then it started dropping. I shorted. I thought that it was going to get down. I should have had a risk on it. It hit my hard stop. But then I saw this, and so I shorted it right when it broke. VWAP covered. Is an okay little win, and then I had another one on HX, and this one started grinding up. This one I only traded with 4 stars because it was after 10, and I'm not. It's not like it's not an A+ setup if it's after 10. So I shorted here, had a stop, short again, had another stop. Yeah, I had a very tight stop, but I told myself, you get one more loss, you're done. So I just kind of waited, shorted the fail. I should have taken some off here, but I wanted down here. I came back up. I cut it off just in the money. Popped up here, started stuffing out. I shorted, risking this. Covered. I covered, and walked away for the day. It was a small green day, but on the week, I'm definitely down for the week. But I just need to go back, and I need to. I mean, if I could have held, if I didn't get called back into work, yeah, this would have been a decent little win. But once again, I was only in fourth of a size, so I mean, it wasn't like I was gonna, break the bank or anything like that. So, but it was good practice. I just purchased the lifetime on Bookmap, so I should be studying that all this weekend, and hopefully be adding that to my arsenal, and hopefully it'll help me have more conviction to my trades. Also tighten up my stop loss instead of using my hard stop. Like, I can actually use my mentor Jay. He usually when he shorts, like, he has like a 2 or 3 cent risk because he's so good at using Bookmap. So I'm hoping that it'll help me tighten up my stops a little bit, but then it'll also help me have conviction for my entries. So all in all, like, today was, just some chump change. Going back, I should have been okay with my basically break-even day on MBRX, but instead I got greedy and traded ears like an absolute chump, and this thing kicked my ass. LIZI, I don't think I traded LIZI wrong, honestly. I think that my buddy Chad was telling me that I just have my hard stop, or my max loss too too small for the size I'm using. Like, you know, I was telling him that I was getting pissed off because I had all these max losses, and he's like, yeah, man, but like with the size that you're using, it, you know, you had a decent loss, but if you would have, you know, taken, you know, your shorts where you wanted to and you wrote down, like, you would have, end of the day, you know, relatively decently green. And so, you know, I feel like that's another valid point too. So I don't think I'm doing things absolutely horrible. I do think there's obviously room for improvement, a lot of room for improvement, but you know, I'm just gonna go back this weekend and study a lot. You know, one thing I've been, you know, sharing a lot, but you know, I feel like it's definitely an important thing with trading is I haven't really slept solid in like 4 months probably. I've been dealing with some crazy neighbors. I finally got the approval to transfer to a different unit, so I'm moving tomorrow, and I am really hoping that I have a nice, quiet place I can catch one sleep because I'm just too busy. You know, between this and my own training and teaching at the gym and working a full-time job, I just, you know, I have to get my sleep, and I feel like I don't know. I definitely think that you know, not having a good night's rest is definitely affecting my trading, and I don't want to use that as an excuse because my trading is definitely not uh, good right now. But I'm hoping that, you know, I have a couple of weeks of good night's sleep and a lot more studying, and I think I'll be able to retain the knowledge that I'm watching for these videos and a lot better. And so I don't know. I guess we'll just see how it goes ahead. But this is definitely not the start to December that I wanted. But you know, this is what I've kind of created. So I guess, you know, the only thing I can do is try to improve from here. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week.